Hey everyone, and welcome to another devlog video for the procedural city generator. Today I am super excited to share with you guys what I've been working on for the past almost 2 weeks. There's been a lot of progress. Mostly my work has been on the road generation algorithm. From my previous videos, if you guys have seen them, it's all about crossroads. We got some really nice road models from one of the community members. So now having to connect the roads in such a way that the crossroads match has been basically a lot of work, a lot of debugging and math and modifying the algorithm. So that's been the bulk of my work. But in between, I've done other things like what you're seeing on the screen, which is a little bit more lighthearted and more fun. So the first thing I want to show you guys today is obviously what you're seeing on screen. This is the new connector mesh, or basically it's a roundabout. And what I had before, and this is kind of in construction mode, what I had before was just plain asphalt and have some trees there. I got this really nice mesh from a community member, which now basically makes it look correct when the streets connect here, because now you have lanes, right? I also added some props in the middle, as you can see here again, and these are very similar to the crossroads. I have a little drop down here that allows you to select some props. So some of these you'll probably recognize from the procedural park. This fountain model is different, but the little water effect is there. So I can just come here, I'll just show you quickly what I have. Statue 1, this again I took from procedural park, but this is actually from Epic's, I believe it's the Sun Temple. So you can change it there. Statue number 2, I got this from a community member. Really nice little statues you can see here. So I added some texturing, and I even added a name, Willem. He is one of the community members that has contributed the most to the project. Pretty much all of the buildings that we have been done by him, which is amazing. Just thought it would be fun to add his little name there with the title founder. I have flags, and you've seen these from the procedural park, basically. And if I hit simulate, you can see that they're kind of flapping in the wind. This is my little YouTube logo, and this is actually not the Unreal logo. I don't want to get into trouble with Epic, but this is just the U, kind of like the Unreal Engine logo. So obviously you can just come here and you can change the props, and I even added a sign, and you can see here this sign says welcome to Cokeville, but you can change the name here to anything you want with some lights there. So yeah, so that is the first thing, is that now we have much nicer roundabouts with props, and it is very easy to add additional props. As you can see here, there are child blueprints. So adding your own props to make it even more varied should be very, very easy. Now, with that said, the bulk of the work has been done here. Let me change the camera to go a little faster. And what I'm showing you guys here is a few roads with some crossroads that have been generated here. Now, you've seen this before, but I want to share with you a little bit more technical information about the issues that I've encountered and what my idea has been to fix those issues. So weirdly enough, I'm going to share some of the background stuff that I do. So I'm going to bring here some pictures that I took. This is from an early test of the city, where I just spawned the crossroads on the city and just saw some of the problems. So the first problem that you see here that I had to fix was, what if the road is curved when you have a crossroad, right? Obviously this doesn't look correct. And you can see another example here. So obviously this looks terrible. So my solution to that, to alleviate it, it's not a full solution, would be to make the last two spline points of the road perfectly perpendicular to the connecting road. That way, when you try to connect with that road, it'll be straight. So trying to reduce the chance that you're going to join in a curved road. That's not fully fixed, but it's still there as something that I need to improve. Here's another issue that I found, right? Because the mesh has these two lines, when you spawn the mesh here, you may get a situation when there is no road connecting here. This is at the edge of the city. So that was fairly easy to fix. And let me show you the example here. So you have one road that is basically at the very end of another road, and there's nothing else connecting here. So if I click on spawn crossroads, notice that now I'm basically hiding this portion of the road here, which basically prevents this issue here. So I'm basically doing traces. I'm making the crossroads a lot smarter that they were before, to try to conform to basically what the city demands. And then there's this issue here, which was the trickiest to fix, and I'm not 100% done here, but I still want to show you what I've done. And it is, what if two roads of different sizes join the same road, basically very nearby? So what you would get here is two different crossroads that could overlap. You can see they're overlapping here because this road joins here and spawns this crossroad, but then this road joins here with a different size and spawns this crossroad. So you can see here. So there's an issue with overlapping. So I had to do traces to see if there was another crossroad before spawning it, and then what to do. And then you get another issue like this, where you have this road, which is smaller, spawn the crossroads which matches this road, but then a bigger road comes and spawns this little lines here, but that doesn't look correct, right? And the reason was because this crossroad for this size was generated first, and then this bigger road came, and then it detected that there's a crossroad, so it didn't really spawn anything, but then this also doesn't look right. So hopefully this isn't too convoluted, but I'm just showing you with images the issues that I've seen that I'm trying to solve. This is, again, a lot of work. So here's what I've came up with, and I'm really happy with it. Basically, I have this road that has, actually I'm just gonna delete this, so start over. I got this road here which is going to generate crossroads, and you can see that it spawns the crossroad correctly based on the size of this road. But if I have another road like this that joins here, if it joins kind of in the inside of this crossroad, and I click on spawn crossroad, in this case all we want is for this road to spawn the lines here, and that looks more or less correct. If I'm going to change this from construction mode, you can see here that we have, from this road, the lines match, the width matches, but then in this case you just have a smaller road come here and you have the stopping lines here. So that is one use case. But what if the road joins here, right? Like a little bit outside of the bounds. And this was really the trickiest thing to get. So now look what happens if I click on spawn crossroads. What I'm doing here is I'm actually resizing the original big crossroad and moving it such that it sort of matches the new space that it would need to take. This, and you can see it's not perfect, but you can see here what my intention is. If I move it to something like this, really far off, basically what I'm doing is I'm resizing the original crossroad there and moving it in such a way to try and match it. And you can see that here that it's not perfect, so I still have to play around with the formula, but it's trying really hard to try to match and create a much nicer intersection. So this solution basically fixes this issue here and this issue here, and then this issue here, as you can see, is kind of what I was going for. So a lot of explanation, but I wanted to get you guys kind of show you guys why I've taken so long. So now let's go ahead and generate a city. So let me just go ahead and delete everything here real quick. Yes. Oops. And there you go. All of the crossroads. I'm just trying to remove everything so I can just kind of generate a quick city for you guys to show you the thing in action. Oops. Definitely not the floor. Bear with me, guys. I'm trying to delete this. Okay. All right, I think we're good. Yep. All right, so with all that said, I'm going to generate a very quick city here. Generate connecting roads, generate main roads. And you can see here that the main roads still need a lot of work. So I'm just going to leave it like that. I'm going to keep clicking. There you go, until I get a little bit more. Generate minor roads. And generate side roads. And before I do anything else, I do want to show you why it's taking so long and what the difference is. Notice now how the roads connect and are perpendicular. And there's a small section of the road at the end and at the beginning that is perfectly perpendicular. And then they're allowed to basically go around. This is obviously wrong, so I can just fix that real quick. So again, not perfect, but there you go. And actually what I'll do, let me just move this here, kind of like here, just to change it a little bit. And again, you see that deformation there. I need to fix that as well. But you can see there's still, unfortunately, some manual work that needs to be done. But by and large, I would say 90% of the roads, so you can see, are connecting correctly. You can see here the little connection here. So that was a lot of work to try to figure out how to do that. See here, this is not right. So this intersection is not going to look correct. So what I can do is I can just kind of fix it by doing this. The point is we want them to be perpendicular. So, all right. So let's quickly, grab the zones. Make sure, I already did this before. I don't want to spend time laying them out. These are just different zones, commercial, residential, etc. I already laid down there. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to spawn buildings. Let's go down a little bit. You can just kind of come here. Really quickly. And again, I know this takes a little bit, so if you want to fast forward the video until the city is generated, feel free to do that. But as you can see, because of the new density, it's just taking a little bit longer to spawn all of the buildings properly. Almost there. This is the part, there you go, done. And now, actually before I spawn any of the props, what I can do is I can go back to the roads and I can select all of the main roads, as you can see here. And I'm going to come under setup and remove the construction mode. And then you'll get the brand new meshes, as you can see here. Then I'm going to spawn the crossroads. Then I'm going to select the minor roads. And I'm going to do the same thing. And I'm not going to do anything else. I want to show you what I have programmatically. Obviously, I would still need to go and do manual adjusting. But I want to show you guys what I have right now via code without touching anything else, which is why I wanted to explain exactly what, what was the point here. But you can see here the crossroads automatically. This doesn't align, and that's because this wasn't perpendicular. You can see that. So that obviously it's still issues. But by and large, I would say most of the crossroads, this is not perpendicular either. But by and large, most of the crossroads, I would say, whoops, look at this. Should be okay. Yeah, not sure what happened there. So, not done by any means, but a lot of the crossroads, I would say, look correct. This doesn't look correct. So you can see that there's still some bugs there. But again, step by step. So a lot of this was trying to figure out how to do it properly. The other thing I wanted to show you guys, which is a lot of fun, was that I've, besides improving the meshes here in the roundabouts, I've also improved the mesh for the helicopter. Again, just to make things more fun. So what I'm going to do is, actually, I'm just going to do it right here. I'm going to come to vehicles, blueprints, vehicles, and I'm going to drop this helipad here. As you can see here. And you can see that we have a new helicopter model. And I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to ride it a little bit on the city. So there's a new helicopter model, which is really, really nice. But to me, the most fun part that I've got to add was this. And you can probably see it here. It is a brand new airplane that you can fly around the city. I got this Cessna model, is public domain, which is amazing. And I basically had to try to create a little flight model for flying this Cessna. Yeah, we're gonna fly it in a minute. I do want to say something though, just for reference. I'm not intending, when I make these vehicles, I do it for fun. I'm not intending this to be a realistic model. So this plane doesn't use physics. It's just floating pond movement. It's just supposed to be something fun. The same thing for the helicopter. So don't expect this to be like a proper plane. If you want a proper plane, you can probably get that asset from the marketplace. But regardless, I thought this was super fun. So before I do that, let me just spawn the props. Fixed props. And the random props. And I'm going to do random props again because I want some additional cars parked around. And you can see now that we have these here. So, and let's do foliage. And to make it a little more interesting, let's add some foliage. This is supposed to be kind of like the rural area. So if I go up there, oops, and I remove the game, you can see that it's very heavy. So I want to spawn an area spawner here, and I'm going to move it here. Where is my area spawner? Here. So I'm going to move it here. And I am going to rotate it. Sorry guys, I know it's taking forever. And I'm just going to make this big like this. Kind of like this. So we have some trees to look at. That's the intention. Let's make it a little bit bigger. So we have a little bit more so we can cover kind of the plane. Now let's go to game mode. And now if we go here to spawn area foliage, you can see that we are now adding area foliage here. Still though, where's our plane? Is right here. Let's bring him back to the road. And our helicopters here, out of the zone, but this is supposed to be a more rural area here. So, with all that said, let's go ahead and fly the plane. Because to me, that's the most fun part to show you guys here. And there you go. So we have the full city with some trees. And look at this model, man. I really, really like it. It even comes with internal seats. So if I go in, you can see that now I am controlling the plane. I can even go into cockpit view and I can see some of the details here. Look at the seats. So I am going to now try to fly the plane. There you go. You can see that again, it's not meant to be realistic, but I have you know, the plane rolls and the pitch. I added a little altimeter. You can see the altitude as you're going around. Look at the nice sign down there. You can go down and you can kind of fly. Whoops! As you can see, I hit a light pole. You can see that I'm flying pretty low here. Oof. And can I land? I don't think I can, but let's try it. If I go down, I'm gonna try to land in the same location. So let's just go down here. Nope. I won't be able to. Oh, you know what? Maybe I can land here. Yes. Yeah. There you go. So let's just leave our plane here, and let's go get the helicopter real quick, guys. But again, this is fully generated, like I said. So you know, if you let's just go to the top of this building. I just want to show you what I mean here. If you go to the top of the building here and just go inside. Now, when you look out the window, look how much nicer this looks, because now we have proper roads. And I'm making a big mess on this guy's apartment, but you can see how much nicer it looks now with the proper roads. Whoops. So you can see how much better it looks just by having those meshes. Now there has been compromise, obviously, because of, you know, I'm limiting the way I'm generating the roads. So hopefully the compromise is not too bad, that it still looks good, and it's still more or less freeform. You can see that the helicopter looks way nicer. And the same thing, I added a cockpit view because now this actually has interiors. So now I can just kind of take off. And I also have altitude here. And one thing that I've added is what you see in helicopters when you go front, it actually tilts a little bit forward. So you can see that the helicopter is now reacting a little bit more to the way you would expect a helicopter to act. Whoa, and you can see the trees there. That's something I need to add. I forgot to add the tags for the... That's funny. Look at that. I need to add the appropriate tags to the statue so the foliage knows that it needs to that it needs to ignore it. But you can see here, that's funny. You can see that we can fly around. Poor Willem, sorry man, I completely forgot to add the proper tags before this. But yeah. So we'll fly around. Let's go a little bit lower. And this right here reminds me of Terminator 2, if you've ever seen the movie, where the helicopter's like flying really, really low on the street. We just need a little bridge here. But you can see. Whoa. Alright. Alright. That's pretty much it, guys. Sorry, I'm having a little too much fun here just flying around. But I thought I'll show you guys what I have so far. Again, to me, this is really big. The fact that most of these crossroads are now spawning programmatically, it's huge. It's really nice. And you can see that how big of a difference this makes for the look of the city. And again, because these are blueprints, if you have a rural area of your city, say like a countryside or something, you can just change the material of the road to be like gravel or whatever, and things would just look completely different. So yeah, what do you guys think? I'm gonna leave it right here with the nice little sign. which you can customize, by the way. So yeah, guys, lots of progress. I am really happy with the way things are looking. In my opinion, this makes it look so much better. And this has been about 2 weeks of hard work. So again, I want to thank all of you guys that have contributed with ideas, suggestions. Special shout out to the guys that are actually contributing with assets. Willem, your name is out there already. I think people have seen you in the Discord. Thank you so much for all of the buildings. I'm not gonna name you, but you know who you are. The person that helped me by giving me the roundabout meshes and the road meshes, and helped me with some of the meshes that I'm using here and all of the ideas. Thank you so much. I mean, this looks way better. So yeah, guys, lots and lots of progress. Do want to hear your comments, so please leave your comments below in the video. What do you think is missing? Do you like the direction this is going? If you haven't joined our Discord, please join our Discord. I post a bunch of screenshots and ask for comments and feedback there all the time. I'm pretty active. Again, I don't get a lot of quiet time to record these videos, which is why you can seem like it's kind of quiet, but I'm actually working on stuff like this. So yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys so much, and I'll talk to you in the next video.